So let's talk about COVID for a minute.
Let's. There's so much to say. Um, so my organization, first of all, did a really good job, I feel like, responding to the needs of patients and staff during COVID. We actually were able and luckily had enough space to open up an entire unit for COVID patients only. So we had some extra space that made things a little easier for us. But it was really challenging. Every day there was a new protocol, rule. We actually had, they called it the war room, and it was nurses, nurse leaders, administrative people all in a room in in a hospital 24/7, like looking up the latest recommendations from the CDC and numbers and data and trying to compile all this information together to help put us in a better situation, and make sure that we had all of the things that we needed to get through some tough times. But it was really hard as a nurse. Sometimes I would go to work and there would be an administrator coming through 4 different times in one day telling me, you need to wear your mask when you do this. You can only wear this mask when you're in this room, and you need a new mask for every room and every patient. And it was really hard to keep up with all of it.
It's a very uncertain time.
Yes.
It was like information rapidly changing.
Yeah, it was confusing.
Did you feel at risk?
Yes,
Every
I
day?
did.
Okay.
I did feel at risk. My unit we kind of became like an overflow unit for the COVID patients when there was not enough space that we had delegated to COVID patients. But I feel like the brunt of it kind of landed on younger nurses to take COVID patients because no one else wanted to risk it. And we were being told, certain populations and certain age groups were at most risk. So that was interesting. Some of it was kind of exciting in a way because, like your nursing brain, like it was high adrenaline, um, the unknown, uncertainty part of it kind of played into that. I wasn't a primary COVID nurse, but seeing these other stories from nurses that worked in COVID units for months straight and seeing like their stories and how they shared the horrible decisions that they had to make on a daily basis was really eye-opening, even for someone who took care of COVID patients myself.
It was a little surreal from my perspective too. I mean, it's like nothing compared to your experience, but as a mother of a nurse on really the front line of it, I mean, I had a few tearful moments. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's going to be safe. You just never knew, this COVID was so insidious. Nobody knew who was going to get the bad version of COVID and who was going to have mild symptoms. And so that was always a concern, which uh, is that going to happen to Bailey? Is that going to happen to her friends? Is she going to experience some of this significant tragedy that was playing out in the national news 24/7? So it was really a tough time, but it's pretty amazing now to see, there's a downward trend. We're starting to get to the other side of it. We both ended up having COVID at some time we both, thank goodness, had very mild symptoms. We're both fully vaccinated now, but it's definitely something I think we're going to learn from this experience personally and nationally over the next several years. So, #COVID. That's our theme. I'm very proud of you.